Hello, hello, hello. Right, I think we are live. This is the Fast Track FBA weekly YouTube live. Let me just double, if you can hear me, just drop a comment down below. I'm using a different mic. Hopefully it sounds a lot better than these. These sound a bit off sometimes. So just let me know. Drop down below. Let me know if I'm working. I will just kind of log in onto the group and to see if we can actually see. I am actually live. So if you can see me, just let me know a comment down below. That's going to save me from having to, I can see myself there. Fantastic. Cool. Great. Guys, if you've got questions, please drop them down below. I appreciate I can sit here and talk about myself, but it's not the most funnest. I'd rather help you guys. So I've got a couple of questions already dropped in. Let's have a quick look. So just have a quick look. Adam Dar has jumped in. Adam, thank you for answering the question. If there's anyone else, do drop your questions down below. Hi, Thomas. When opening an Amazon seller account for the first time, would you recommend registering your business as registering as a business seller? Secondly, would you need to register the business at an accountant or online? Great question. First things first, I need to be very crystal clear. I'm not a tax expert, legal professional, lawyer, accountant. So this is just my personal thoughts. Don't take it as professional advice. So also it depends on you. So long story short, if you're in the UK, which I'm guessing you are, then I would probably say that got to be careful. You can, if you haven't got a job, you've got no other sources of income, it might be better. It might be an option to do it through yourself because you can then trade up to 80 just below the VAT threshold, and then convert your seller account from your personal person and move it over to a limited company, and that resets the VAT threshold. Fantastic. But if you have a job, then all of a sudden you're now doing, like, let's call, for example, you're earning 40,000 a year. You earn 40,000 a year in your job. Fantastic. You pay tax on that. But now also as well, you do 40,000 in sales, where you now actually make 80,000 a year, and obviously there are costs against that 80,000 a year, so your taxes come a bit weird. So if you've got a job, it might not be more beneficial. Speak to an accountant, but that's the advantage. But for me, personally, I just do it straight out of a limited company, but it does mean you don't get the benefit of kind of like being able to do double VAT. So I hope that makes sense. But it's a really good question, and I think it's something which a lot of people kind of ask and or should say want to know about. So and obviously, if you think about like individual professional selling account on Amazon, professional always, never do individual. It's not worth it. For £5, not worth it. Adam Dart. And thirdly, in regards to a bank account, can I use my personal bank account, or should I open a business bank account? Okay. If you have if you are trading as you, like Thomas Parkinson, I'm trading as me under my unique taxpayer reference number, it's okay to have a personal bank account, but let's be very crystal clear. I would strongly, like, hand on heart, everything, like, if there's one bit of advice I could ask you to do is create another personal bank account to run your business through. Don't ever do it in the same bank account that you're currently doing, like your weekly shopping on, or your Netflix subscription. Do not put it down. It just makes life so much harder. Create a second personal bank account. Do it. If you have a limited company, always business account, and obviously don't run personal transactions through. So I hope that makes sense. Aaron said, "Hey Tom." Hey Aaron. Good to see it. Let me know if you've got questions, drop them down below. I'll kind of go through them. Graham, hey Graham, what's up? How are you? What are the advantages of setting up in the US, setting up a US LLC over running an Amazon business using UK LTD? Great question. So speaking to people who have done this from the UK LTD side, 50%, 60% of US retailers will not, or even wholesalers will not do business with people located outside the UK, outside the US. So immediately you're cutting your supply down by 50%, which might not seem huge because it's a huge marketplace, but I want to maximize that. So that's number one, suppliers won't do business with you. Number two is the fact that, for me, I'm really about, if you ever know anything about me, cashback, credit cards, rewards. That's something that I really like, and obviously having a US entity just makes that a lot easier. Yes, you can do it with like a UK-based Amex card and get the, shut this down, and getting the and getting like the US dollar-based version. But I just think like you want to get those rewards, and having a US company is so much easier. Number three, and I don't know this for a fact, but I assume and I believe it would be a lot easier to get credit for your business in the US if you're a US-based company and you're trading in the US, rather than you're a UK-based company trading in the US and doing that. Like, I don't know for a fact, and I'm sure it's not too hard, but I think it'd just be a lot easier. And so, like, for example, when you try and do credit in the UK, one of the masks is like, are you a UK resident? If you are, it just makes life a lot easier. So, long story short, is that's it. But the main one, retailers and wholesalers want to do business with US companies. That's it. So, hence why we're doing that. There are more costs, involved, but I think it just kind of works. Like, our business is growing from strength to strength, and I think personally the US LLC is the best option. Lots of drilling. Let me know if you can hear the drilling. I'll go shut my windows if you can. But my noise cancelling headphones are pretty good. Hi, Thomas. Please share a distributor list. What, of like distributors? No. Sorry. No. I'm buying for them. No, they're mine. Like, you can have a wholesale. You can have an OA list, top 100 OA. Yeah, we'll share that, not a problem. But distributors are the ones that I buy from. Stay there. I'm going to go shut that window. My God, there's a lot of building going on outside. I am here, guys. Don't worry. I'm just going to shut this window. Hopefully, it'll be a bit quieter. As I turn up, all of a sudden, obviously, they start drilling. Right. English with me. Any advice on cash flow and not running out of stock? I know it's inevitable, but do you find more suppliers? Lastly, I've been told there's another service which you get paid daily, but they take a fee. Yeah. So I'll come to your second point. Services like payability. Yeah, of course. You can use them. Basically, what they do is they call like invoice factoring. So every time you do a disbursement, Amazon tells you how much they're going to pay you, or like how much you're going to get paid. But then the interesting one is that they're going to give you a loan against that money. So what you'll do is when you disperse, it will actually get paid to them, and then they'll release the funds. But between them releasing the funds to you and the disbursement, they'll loan you that money, if that makes sense. They do take a fee. You just got to make sure you've got high enough margins. It can work. Personally, for me, we don't use it. We just manage our cash flow better. And if you want any top tips for managing cash flow, look at go to Fast Track APA YouTube channel. Just type in cash space flow. There's 2 videos that I've done, multiple videos. We use the same sheet for all of them, so don't worry which one you use. And it explains how we do cash flow. Long story short, at a very fundamental level, the way I look at it is that helps you manage your cash flow. And then the other one is if you're running out of cash, it might be the case that you want to sell down some stock, preferably older stock, to get it out and then get the cash out to buy it in new stock. That's all we would do. So English with me, let me know if that's helpful down below. Graham, thanks for the advice. For UK seller, which banks is the best open account for an Amazon USA business, and how best to remit the proceeds from this account to the bank in the UK? Okay, I don't know the exact answer because I don't do that. I don't sell in the US from a UK company. But if I was to, the way I would probably do it is, number one, I'd have a TransferWise account to take my payments in, because TransferWise, so I create a US dollar account and they'll give you a US billing, a US address for that bank. So that means that Amazon will disperse from your US account into TransferWise in US dollar. And then you can use TransferWise to convert it back to, let's say, for example, like Santander, Monzo, really doesn't matter. You're just using a UK-based bank to be the store. But for everything dealing with disbursements from Amazon, I'd use TransferWise or Wise. And then to buy stock, if I was going to do it, I would create an Amex Platinum card, credit card, and then I'd speak to their international currency team and I'd get the US dollar version of that credit card. And that kind of helps out as well. That's the only way I'd probably do it. You can use, and I don't think Wise have US dollar cards yet, but you can do Amex UK Platinum cards for business which have US dollar denomination. That works. And you get rewards. So kind of defeats a bit some of the point of me doing it. But I think that's one way. But you still have to register the address in the UK, which doesn't help. But you're trading in dollars, which makes it a lot easier. Hope that makes sense. Aaron, I'm looking to hire a VA in the coming months, most likely from your academy. Woo! I think you'll really like it. Honestly, really good. The team are really good. They're on fire, and get it in. There is a bit of a delay. I think it's about 2 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks. It's not as high as it was. It used to be 5. So just keep an eye, check it, and obviously book in. But yeah, I think you'll really like the service, and it's really added so much value. I think we've done maybe 500 VAs now. Don't quote me. Graham, hi. For UK sellers, which is the best state to register for Amazon USA business in? Great question. Have a look at that down the bottom there. There's a fasttrackfa.com, start selling Amazon USA. Or you can go to the Fast Track APA website, go to courses, and you'll see getting started on Amazon USA. buy that course. It's £100. It will answer that question and so much more. Graham, like, I know you just want the one answer for this, but like, trust me, like, I've answered that question. I've got screen shares of setting up. I show you how to do like two-factor authentication. I show you how to do like the incorporation agents. I show you like the bank account to do everything, like everything that I've learned about. I show you how to like top tips and tricks for overcoming cancelled orders, which are really important because you're going to get lots of them. US is really high. I think last week we spent, you know, like we're better at it, but we still had probably like 15% cancelled orders last week. It was actually pretty high. But we've learned that. So there's so much we've learned. And for £100, it's nothing. Just buy the course. It's like, honestly, do it. It will answer that question. And so much more. I'd be like, yeah, I hope that makes sense. Amit Kara, should we try products to sell which has no data unknown for BSR, nor estimated sale, but there is... I think for you, like sometimes certain products... So when there is no, let's say, for example, when there is no BSR on the listing, basically Amazon has removed it. So what you're not going to get is the green lines on the keeper chart, and you don't know the best selling rank. But you can also as well use the star reviews. Top tip for you, what I would probably do is look at how many reviews have come into that listing over the last 3 months. For each review, estimate 100 sales, and that'll give you an idea. So like if it's got, say, 10 reviews over the last 3 months, that's probably, so over the 3 months, it's done 1,000 sales. So each month would be like 333. That would be my advice. And you might want to just do a test purchase, but it'll kind of give you an idea. But they can be very lucrative because other people are not buying it because there is no BSR. But because you've done the review method, that can help you out. Let's jump through English with me. What is considered profit in terms of HMRC? Do you show them all your invoices and expenses? So I'm assuming you're talking about you're in a limited company right now. So something called Making Tax Digital. So under Making Tax Digital, your software, Xero QuickBooks, for example, will share with HMRC not the actual invoice itself, but it'll be like the category and the cost. So it'll be like every date, every transaction, and the cost for that. So HMRC, you'll be able to see all your invoices, all your expenses digitally, not the actual like the invoice itself, but that'll be stored on your software. I don't think they send them to PDFs if you upload them to your software. And then HMRC will be able to see like you've got, what do you call it? So let's say, for example, you've got, you know, they'll look at all your income, your revenue, and then they'll see if you've paid tax on it, like you've declared it's vatable or not. Then also all your expenses, and then your profit will be, you know, income minus expenses. So that'd be your net profits. So that's it. Yeah. But your accounting software, you should be using, if you get into like limited company, you should be using something like Xero QuickBooks, the kind of industry standards for most small businesses. Graham, hi. For a UK seller, which account is best to use for Amazon USA purchases? Is it possible to get a USA credit card without credit history in USA? Graham, great question. And I know you're asking a lot of USA answers. It's in here. It's in this course. Buy that course. Buy it. I hope you understand. I'm not going to give away everything that we've learned over the last 10 months free of charge. Like I give a lot of information, but I do kind of hold something back because of like, I'm just going to get bombarded, and obviously, like doing these things, I have to make money. I have to, the business has to grow. We put a lot of time and effort into it, and hopefully, you see that. And we do sell some of the information we do. So I'll give out kind of snippets of information, but sometimes when we put it together, I'll say buy it. So for you, I really understand what you're saying. You want a US, company, which is the best place to go. Like we talk about which bank account to use that you don't need to go inside, the tricks to get cancelled orders dealt with, and also as well, I also talk about credit history as well in that course. Check it out. Honestly, I'm sorry not answering your question directly, and I know you hate me, but that's what I'm saying. Get that course because like there's a lot of detail. It's probably like I think it's 17 videos we put together of what you need to know to redo it for £100, £700. Buy it, and we'll say thank you. And also, it's a tax write-off for the business once you get started. It's education. Amit Kara, one product's BSR 200,000, but then there are 190 reviews. So which one should we trust more? Don't count reviews just general. If those reviews over the last 15 years, I'd probably be like, whoa, that isn't many. But if it is, I would look at reviews over the last 3 months. That's it. Recent reviews. That's what you care about. So I hope that makes sense. BSR, cool. That's pretty recent. Look at the recent reviews. That should align with the BSR. So I'm guessing 200 is probably not selling very well. And you probably had one review in this year. That'd be my guess. Some of the products do not have high reviews, like it has 5 or 6, but BSR is good. Exactly the same as before. Look, you can use BSR. I would probably use BSR over reviews, but reviews I trying to use to confirm BSR is right. Or if I can't use BSR, then I'd use reviews. So I'd use BSR first. But always look at the recent BSR and the recent reviews. That's what I'm saying. Cool, let's go through. Wow, we've got lots of questions. I need to fire through these. Aaron, I was wondering, what is a realistic weekly spend goal for my new VA to achieve during months 1, 2, and 3? We answer this in the VA Academy. We support you in it. So if you've got problems, do hire a VA from Fast Track FBA VA Academy. But we don't do a spend goal for months 1 and 2. We do it for 3. And we say spend goal should be 1,333 per week. There is some science behind that. But we only do it for week 3. 1,333 per week. If you want to know, in the VA Academy, for us, our deals that we buy are month 1, 2 to 5, month 2, 5 to 8. So I hope that makes sense. Massive action, Mr. Sean Gilbert. Who is taking massive action? Sean is. He is out there absolutely smashing it. I'm loving what you're doing, Sean. Keep blogging, keep sharing. Thank you so much. And keep taking massive action. Let's go on. Matt, I have a question on buy box. What I've seen is that if we put that if the price is not competitive to the other retailers and Amazon does not show it up on the buy box, why? It's called suppressed buy box. Look at suppressed buy box. So long story short, Amazon scrapes other websites to find out the pricing. And if the other websites are like $10 and you're putting yours at 25, Amazon's going to go like, that's not competitive. Amazon's whole brand promise is that we're cheap. We're probably cheaper than the marketplace. And if you're 25 and they're 10, like that isn't going to lead to a good customer experience. So what Amazon do is they don't stop you from selling it, but they just don't make it available to click the buy now, the buy box. It disappears. So you have to click view all sellers and then buy that one. So they just don't want to make it easy for sellers, i.e. you, to get lots of sales at a ridiculously high price. So that's the reason why. Long story short, if you want to find out what the price needs to be, just keep slowly bringing the price down and find out. That'll help you out. Hope that makes sense, Matt. Adam, any tips for FBA based on products where I were to manufacture myself? Not really. I don't do manufacturing. That's private label. Scale to E-tail is a good Facebook group. Ask in there. I've met those guys. They're based in London. You're doing brand private label product for manufacture. We don't do that, so I can't give you tips. Sorry, Adam. English to me. What's your advice on a prep center which is more experienced and they don't need a certain day to send inventory and you've been using them for a while, despite the fact they're a cheaper option? I don't understand. What is your advice on a prep center which is more experienced and they don't need a certain day to send inventory and you've been using them for a while? Are you looking for like, who do I recommend? So long story short, not to like diss new prep centers, but I do think there's an inherent risk with new prep centers. We've seen it time and time again. New prep centers come up. They started off. They've taken on too many clients and they've not been able to deliver. It's hard. Prep is hard. Like, I really promise you that. Especially Q4. Like, my God, look for a prep center who like we've stopped taking clients in Q4. That's the one you want, because they understand it gets busy. But 3 prep centers that we know a lot of people have used and they've been around for a long time. Systemized. Oh my God, I think it's Systemized Fulfillment. Kev Blackburn, good guy. I've been there twice. Really, really good. We Prep FBA down in Suffolk. They're really big. I think they've got 30 full-time staff now, do a lot. They've been around a long time, good reputation. And then Fast Pack FBA, Dan Gibbs, been around, I think, at least 2 years now, still got a good reputation. So I've not heard anything negative. But again, like, get on the phone call, call them, email them. You're looking for response time. At the end of the day, when things go wrong, how quick can they deal with you? That's what you want. So price isn't it. Like, I don't see people think like cheapest prep center. Don't do it, because you're trusting these guys with tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of your stock. At the end of the day, like, or pounds of stock, it doesn't matter how cheap they are if they don't ship the goods. That's what you want. Like, if they're sitting there for 3 months with your goods, it's not good. You need to get it shipped out quick and pay a little bit more, get it right. Let's go through Facebook user. Hi, hey Facebook user. Map. If an item is $9 at Walmart and you sell it for $20 on Amazon, you will not get buy box. Instead, it will show up as buying options and it will reduce the sale. That could be right. We do buy a lot of products for probably $10 at Walmart and resell them at $20 on Amazon. It does happen. And what you're talking about is suppressed buy box. It can happen. Also, it doesn't mean you're not going to get sales. It just means you're probably not going to get as many because there is no buy box. So just be mindful of that. That's going to be super important for you. So you are right. So just be mindful. It might be the case that actually you're buying for 9, selling for 20. Why not bundle it? Put it on a different listing. That way Amazon won't put it, and then now it might become competitive, and now you get the buy box. Could do bundling. Could be an option. English with me. Is Amazon UK banks closed? Actually, are Amazon UK banks closed? Disbursements have been slow. Is this normal for a new seller? Maybe. We normally disperse on a Monday, so we always get it by Thursday. But yeah, pretty much every Thursday it comes in. So I don't know. It has obviously been Easter, I think, a bank holiday. So banks don't really work on the bank holidays, I don't think. So I think, yeah, that might be why. Wait for them today. Hola. Cool. Hey, nice to meet you. Right, matey. How many credit cards are you actually using? And you said obviously, and hello, cool, hello. So if you want to know, in my UK business, in the US, I'm not using credit cards yet. We're in the process of getting them. In the UK business, we use 3: Capital on Tap, Amex, actually 4: Capital on Tap, Amex Gold, Amex Platinum, and we have a Santander business credit card. And we use Santander, we rarely use. We only have £7,000 limit. It's not worth it. But Capital on Tap's about 50,000, and the other two are charge cards. They're not credit. The Amex are charge cards, so we do use them a lot. So they help out. I think they could probably do maybe 100,000, 200,000 limit on both, across both of them. So we use them all the time because, my God, I love the credit card points. Absolutely love it. Hope that Matthew, let me know if that answers your question. ALJ, if you had to start over again with the knowledge you have now, would you do anything differently? I did answer this recently to Kev Blackburn, so you gotta be a bit careful. What I would, because the real question you're trying to ask is, would I do, if I was in your shoes, what would I do differently? So I think, for me, because obviously, I already have a bit more of a reputation now, a bit of a brand image, and obviously the knowledge. And I could go jump into coaching tomorrow, and obviously, make quite a bit of money just doing that, which then I could throw into the Amazon business. Whereas, if I was in your shoes, you wouldn't be able to jump into coaching straight away because, it's harder to sell the coaching if you haven't got the proven experience. But long story short, for me, yeah, there's a couple of things I really look at, what would I look at? I'd probably go do RA. Again, it depends how much money you've got. We play with a lot of cash, so building teams is available. But if you're talking £5,000, I'd probably go do RA and just churn that as much as I can in the US. There's so much opportunity there. I look at it, I'm like, wow, it's incredible. Buy it, ship it in the next day, fine. And I'd probably try and grow that to 100,000 US very quick. And then look to keep doing it while I hire a VA to do. I'd hire 3 VAs straight away and get them to do OA, buying and sourcing and buying straight away. That would be it. But I think retail arbitrage is a very quick way to scale money quickly. I'll just go in the US and do that because having been there, I'm like, wow, there's so much opportunity here. But again, we're all different, and I get the question, but it's a very difficult question. So, but if I had 5,000, first thing I'll probably do is hey guys, anyone interested in doing coaching, I'll do weekly coaching with you for the next month, 2 months, for example, and I charge my time out, and I could probably make a much better ROI on that than I would be able to do RA. So maybe just once a week, 8 hours once a week, you could easily earn $1,000 a day, no problem, just by doing coaching. Yeah, easy. Let's go through. Mark heavily on video. Hi Thomas. In your own opinion, what is more efficient to use, Buybot Pro or Keeper? Thanks, newbie here. My God, I definitely use it's kind of would you rather use a car or a shovel? They're different. I understand the point. Keeper is a historical tool which tells you about the products over time, and that is very, very powerful, and I do love it. Whereas Buybot Pro has a lot of the Keeper data in it, not all, but quite a lot, most of the key data that you're going to want, so you can use that. But also Keeper is Buybot Pro is a calculator as well, which is going to help you do profit analysis, which is really fundamental. So if I could only have one, I'd definitely choose Buybot Pro, but I would definitely get Keeper as well because I think it's valuable and I really like the tool. I think it's so powerful. So they're not the same, so you can't really ask that. So efficient to use, both. Sorry, I know you don't like the answer. Yeah, let's go and jump through. Thanks for all the questions, guys. I'm going to try and rapid fire through them today because I appreciate. Wow, it's busy. Coffee first. More coffee, faster talking. Ishak, currently doing OA and wholesale, and I hope to get into private label eventually. Would you recommend opening up a new seller account for and LTD for this? You don't need to. If you want to, if you are just doing private label, you can create another selling account under the same LTD. You just need different bank accounts. It is possible. Top tip for you, look, I'm just going to share through, if you're doing OA, wholesale, and private label, my advice would be like, make sure you're at least doing 7 figures and OA and wholesale, and you have a whole team who can do that for you, and you can run it in like 4 hours a week, Tim Ferriss style, before you start private label. I've met so many private label sellers, like, number one, it eats cash. Number two, it takes up time. And if you just don't have both of those in massive abundance, hence why I'm talking about 7 figures, you're just going to slow down your growth. Like, you're going to slow down your journey. So make sure OA and wholesale, probably 7 figures. Make sure you've got a whole team running it for you, so then you can focus on your private label product. That's what I recommend. Graham, hi, for UK seller, which bank is best open for Amazon USA business and how to remit the proceeds? I answered that earlier, so I'm going to skip that one. Graham, do get the course, honestly. I think, like, trust me, hopefully you understand everything we deliver is great value. The course, I think you'll really like. Isham, which platform is best to find authorized distributors? Don't Google, and I promise you this. Okay, you want authorized distributors. It's called get on the phone to the manufacturer and ask them who the distributor is. Super simple. Hi, PlayStation, who are your authorized distributors we want to buy? Cool, they'll tell you. They will tell you. They are authorized distributors. Call the manufacturer, they'll tell you. And then Google them. That's it. Amit Kara, what is successful business for you? For example, if you made 10K USD sales per month, what should be your minimum net profit for you? I know it's a general question, but I want to know your opinion about it. Great question, but you can look at this a lot of ways. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for example, now, and I'm going to try and simplify it. Let's say, for example, now in my USA business, we make 100,000 in sales per year. And let's say, for example, I put, and in that 100,000, I made 10K net profit. Fantastic, so 10% net margin. People might be like, okay, not brilliant, but it's okay. And let's say, for example, I put $20,000 in. So you'd be like, okay, I put $20,000 in. I made 100,000 in sales. I made 10K net profit. So my ROI over the course of the year was 50%. Not huge, but like, it gives you an idea. But you're working at 10% margin. Okay, fine. Now the other one, let's say, for example, my USA business. Let's say, for example, I made $1 million profit, and let's say, for example, I made, I don't know, let's call it 5% net margin. So now I only made 50,000. So margin's half of what the US is. And you might be like, well, actually, it's not as good. But what's interesting is, what if I told you that I put 0 amount of cash into my UK business and I used all other people's money? So yes, my margin is worse. But what's very interesting is that but my ROI on my investment is infinite, because I put 0 cash in and I made 50,000 cash out. So, one's got the USA's got a better margin. It's got a better margin for the revenue, and you might think that's great. But another one's got a worse margin, but ROI investment is better. So what's a successful business for me? And I think if I really defined it, my measure of successful business would be 2 things. Actually, if I had to do one metric, it would be profit per hour worked. That's it. That's really it. That's the one thing I'd look at. And I appreciate there are going to be times in any business, like when you're building it and building a team, your profit per hour worked to be massively down. But over the long term, let's say, for example, now my UK business, we did 3 million in the last 12 months. And even if you're running at a 5% net margin, that's 150,000, which we're not, by the way, we do more than that. But, per hour worked, 1 hour a week, like, that's 50. So if I just get the calculator out, even if we're doing a 5%, I like doing maths, £150,000 divided by 52 hours, because 1 hour a week, £2,884 per hour worked. I'll take that. That's really good. And if you want to know a lot about my UK businesses, I do use a lot of debt, a lot of credit, and that's other people's money. So ROI on investment is insanely high. Whereas the US, we're not using credit cards, we're not using debt. I have to invest a lot of money in that. So accessible business, define it by profit per hour worked. That'd be it. I hope that makes sense. Amit, I make sales for one product. I earn €2 to €3 per unit each. It is net profit, but when I return, it comes to me at €23 because it can't be sold again. I don't really understand the question. I'm guessing you're saying, like, yeah, because but when the return comes, you have to pay for the cost of goods because you can't be sold again. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, that's the nature of business. Yes, you want to keep, USA right now, we've had a problem. Couple of products we sold have caused a lot of returns. Like, my team didn't really notice it, didn't keep an eye on it, and as a result, it cost us money, or profit, should we say, but we've learned from it now. We built that in, and it does happen. So I wouldn't ever look at anything on an individual basis. You're looking at the portfolio of products altogether. That's my advice. Rafid, how much money required in drop shipping business? Oh, don't do drop shipping. I don't know. I really don't know. I could have a guess, but I don't know. You should do some good credit cards, I guess. English with me. Have you ever experienced a VA rushing work, just showing a link, but not taking time to consider if it's available to buy? Like, you feel like you're there just rushing. I think the real question is like, define your measures of success. Like, I talked about a minute ago, just like, what's my measure of success for a business? It could be like ROI, it could be net profit. And I said, actually, I think it's profit per hour worked. That's, we worked out in the UK, I'm doing at least through, £2,800 per profit per hour worked in that business, which is incredible. So the real question which you come into is like, what does it feel like, like, for you, is like, what's the measure of success? And I'd be like, at the end of the day, what I care about is, first things first, deals that I'm buying, and then obviously how much I'm spending on those deals. So if a VA wants to rush and like show me a deal they don't really care about or they haven't really considered, well, like, if we're not, if they're rushing it and we buy it and it's a good deal, fine, I don't really care. But if they're rushing it, obviously they rush 10 deals and none of them we buy, well, I'm going to be like, okay, Mr. VA, what have you learned? Have you learned that rushing is going to help you in this? Hopefully no. So they're not going to do it again. We're about teaching them, the consequences of their actions, and consequences good and bad. So for you, when they're rushing, it's bad, and also you won't buy it. So I hope that makes sense. But, I have seen it, and because we have consequences and we're very clear about what our expectations are, I don't really care about the action. I care about the result. And if the action they're doing doesn't deliver the result, then they'll soon learn. Like, it's not my job to say, stop doing this. Like, I'll ask them the question, hey, you rushed. Did it deliver the result? They'll be like, no. And I'm like, cool. Are you going to rush tomorrow? And they'll be like, yes. And I go, try again. Did rushing work? And they'll be like, no. And I'm like, well, stop rushing. It's not working. Hopefully that makes sense. English with me, let me know in the comments if that makes sense. Raoul, how to file sales tax return in Texas state while there is no sales tax yet? Need guidance. I really couldn't tell you. Sorry. Speak to an accountant. If you want to go 4 accountants, there's a course down there, USA, 4 top accountants. We've researched from a lot of people who recommend them. They're good accountants in that selling on Amazon USA course. It's £100. Get it, trust me. Right, bencbal.I. I brought the top 100 UK list. Now all I need to do is to find the profitable products, is to go through the clearance sections of the products. No, not at all. Don't just look at clearance sections. Oh my God, never. Like, I don't know how we don't do this as stats, but I think a lot of products we find aren't clearance sections. They're like just on there. So like, just because, so also a top tip for you, top 100 UK list, fantastic. Number 2, yes, go through clearance sections. Number 3, sign up to all their newsletters. You're looking for them when they share voucher codes, discounts, you can go back and source them. And then number 4, look across the whole range of products. Like, it'll make such a difference. Trust me, I like, that's what you're looking for. Like, there are so many deals on the top 100 list which are not just in a clearance section. Like, a lot of ours aren't clearance section. Amit, how do you manage your return? Do you check in them and resell again, or taking 50% refunds back from the customer because they use them? You can't take refunds back from the customer. Under like Amazon policy and even EU law, they have like 30 days to return the product. Hey, my God, Amazon horrendous. Like, sometimes they'll accept the return, give a full refund after 2 years. Absolutely annoying. So top tip for you is you just got to take it. Amazon do what's known as a refurbishment program, so they'll check it and then put it back into new if it is, or if not, they'll put it into unfillable, and you've got to return it, and then we'll just manage it from there. Like, we have warehouses who'll sell the goods on for like liquidation. You just got to take it. Like, if we get 10p on the pound, fantastic. Like, we're great. So a lot of stuff has to get destroyed, unfortunately. I remember when I get to the warehouse, like, I come home with like 50 pairs of socks. Something went wrong, or an IP claim. But yeah, you don't get a 50% refund, unfortunately. You have to give them the full money back. Graham, hi. Does your course cover hiring an accountant to look after tax affairs submission? If not, how much should we do? So yes, down there, you can talk to them. In that course, there are 4 accountants. Obviously, I'm a non-US resident. We talk about getting an ITIN, which is an individual taxpayer identification number, which you need for a non-resident, and they will file the tax return for you. They'll do it all. And you can speak to the accountants. The course covers all that, and also how much to pay for all of that as well. If you want, you can even go to that website down there and book a call in with one of my support team, and they can talk you through any questions you have about the course to make sure it's right for you. 30-minute free call. Carlos, I've noticed a lot of sellers coming on into my listing and taking prices. Aren't you concerned about all of this new competition? No, I get your point. I really do. But I think what you need to understand is that by the very nature of what we do, we sell on a marketplace. You're going to have competition. So, and also as well, Amazon's getting more and more sellers every year. I think there's a new Amazon selling account created every 2 seconds or something. It's insane. So you're going to get more competition. Your job is just to get better. This doesn't get any easier. You just get better at doing it. So you're always going to have competition, but you've got to and if you start worrying about the competition, so much, either leave or stop selling. But the thing is, you probably want to have a range of products, and some of those products are going to have a lot of competition. They're going to get tanked, cool, and some of them aren't. So just be really mindful of that. I think that's a really important point. But I know what you're saying. It's a very common thing, but I think you just got to learn, hey, I need to change my business because I need to change my model because what I'm doing isn't working because there's too much competition now. Let's try something else. Keep adjusting, keep learning, keep improving, get better at the game. Nito, I have a very profitable products selling for arbitrage, but I can't see why any FBA. But why can't I see any FBA sends anyway? Could be IP alert. Look at Fast Track FBA brand checker. You go to fasttrackfba.com, go to the brand checker, click on that. Also, you'll see a list. If the brand is on there, don't buy it. Also, the other ones, look at the keeper chart. If you're seeing less than 2 sellers for the history of time, or most of the time recently, probably got an IP alert. Don't buy it. You want to see a history of other people selling it consistently. That means it's it'll happen. You won't get IP alerts. Wow. Is there any question? There is a question in every new client's mind that how is it possible to get scale with big difference in price with Amazon same listing? Really good one. Don't sell against Amazon. Find listings where Amazon are not selling. That's the thing. Amazon, I think 65% of all sales are from third-party sellers. So, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So, lots of third-party sellers are selling multi-billion dollars a year. So, just don't compete against Amazon. I think we do, but not very much. A lot of sellers don't. So, okay, and you can still grow. Billions of dollars of revenue to take. Well, although we remain second position in the listing, why people give orders to us? Sometimes it has. Amazon buy box rotates around. It does happen. Just welcome to the wonderful world of Amazon. No one really knows their algorithm. English with me, I meant registered for self-assessment for UTR number as I'm maybe an individual, not a business. I've been told it's a problem. Maybe out of cancellation. I don't have a job other than for now. No, you should have no problem. There's no so long as you have a professional selling account, you've got a UTR, and I really recommend having a separate bank account for the business. It can be a personal bank account, but it's not the one that you put your weekly shopping through. Should be fine. There's no reason about suspension. You should have any more than any other company. No reason to. You are a business at the end of the day. You're just a self-employed business, not a limited company. Next one, Amit. Amazon FBA fees are changing always, and mostly it is mostly being discounted 10 to 20 cents. How do you control the differences, and do you take the money back of the difference between the 2 fees? So I'm just going to let you into a little secret, which isn't a secret, it's obvious. Amazon FBA fees are always going to be going up. The cost of everything goes up. Welcome to inflation. Oil's going up. Everything, they have to do it. It's always going to go up. So when we do our repricing, we put an ROI percentage on it. So the repricer will automatically know the fee change and change the minimum price based on the fee change and our target ROI. That's what we do. Yeah. What can we do? Open package products, especially like Playmobil, etc. How do we sell and charge? No, you can't charge anything. Literally, I can go buy a product today from Amazon, open the whole box up, and then go, I don't want it. Maybe rip it, the whole box, and send it back. Legally, under UK law, I'm allowed to do that because it's an unwanted gift, and it's called the Distance Selling Act. Obviously, if I trashed it, then it might be a different equation. but you can't charge anything back. It's just a cost of doing business, unfortunately. You've got to try and resell it. Used. You can resell it as used, warehouse. Try and sell it on eBay, for example, Facebook Marketplace. Box damaged. That's the thing. So yeah, sorry, it's a pain. How can we organise that Amazon sell our return products as used open packages? Do the Amazon offer we must do about it? So I'm just going to have a quick look now. Can I log into my Amazon account? If you use like Amazon setting, it's called like refurbishment costs. I'm just going to try and log in, and I'll try and find out. It's like refurbishment costs, and really like it's just Amazon, not really refurbishment. Amazon's going to check it, and then they're going to put it, and then if the Amazon representative thinks it's good enough, they'll send it back in again. So I'm just kind of logging in right now. I'm also going to the top right, which is the cog icon, and then I'm clicking on fulfillment by Amazon. And then what you want is something called, one second. It's in here somewhere. I'm not really too sure. It's like return or dispose, automated unfillable settings. It's somewhere around that. It's something to do with like, I'll have to have a look. Yeah, sorry, I could go. It'll be under that. It's going to do FBA settings. So like on returns, they will. Is it another one? Sorry. Shipping settings, return settings. Yeah, cog icon, return settings, and then general settings. No, I don't know. My God, it is around somewhere. Yeah, it is an option. Like Amazon will refurbish the product. Let me come back to you guys. Cool. The Guapta Manish. Oh, hey Manish. Hey Tom, for USA purchase, can I purchase through most of the stores using my UK credit card, or do I need a US card? If that is the easy way to get using a credit card. The course, if you have a USA entity, it does tell you about how to do USA company there. Cool. But you can. 50% of US stores will reject UK credit cards because you can't. They don't accept the buying address. Like when it says please put in your address and it says enter state, it won't have non-US. It will just say Delaware, Arkansas, Washington, Florida. You cannot put a UK address in. And so what's going to happen is that when you try to put the payment through, it will fail the card authorization because the zip code and the address are incorrect versus what's on the card. So the transaction won't go through. The websites are just not set up, and we've seen it. 50% of all websites just won't let it work. Lots of people have done this, so just be mindful. That's hence why we started the LLC route. Get that course, the one down below, the one down there, that one there. FastTrackFBA.com, and you can just also go to like top right resources, courses, and then start selling on Amazon USA course. Hope that makes sense. Ross P, I'm from the UK. What do you feel has been I'm from the UK. What's been the best way of sourcing products? Are you reverse sourcing, using websites for automatic deal, vendor sourcing? All of them, Ross. Honestly, all of them. I'm not gonna. Okay, let me give you an example. If you just do one method, like you're wasting a lot of opportunity. Like let's put it this way. Let's say, for example, right now you get a mailing list. So they send you an email about lots of great products. Then you go through and you find one of those products is a good deal, and maybe two of them are a good deal. But also on those two products, cool, 2 deals. Then what you do is you notice that there's the same seller on both of them as a competitor. So you look at his storefront, and then you go look at other products he does. So now you're doing storefront stalking, and then you'll find other products that you don't have. Then you're going to reverse source them. You find some suppliers. Now you find that 3 of them are supplier, but they're not really profitable enough yet. So what do? You then go get a voucher code. You find a voucher code, and now you got a voucher code. Like fantastic. So now you're doing voucher code sourcing on that supplier and looking for other products that are available. So and then maybe like one of the products is like a chicken cat food, and you go, oh well, let's look at the beef cat food. That's now leaf sourcing. You're just going down a rabbit hole of kind of different things, but you're doing lots of different methodologies around that, and that's how you get the best number of deals. It isn't one methodology. It will start with one, but it will kind of evolve. And I hope that really makes sense. So that's why I say don't ever look at one deal sourcing method in isolation. You got to keep learning, trading, and that's how the best people do it. And really understand. I had a conversation with Gavin Sweeney, which was great, and he talked about how he got a voucher code for, I think it was like ASOS or something, And what they realized is it said use once, but you could actually reuse it. So he put like 4 or 5 grand through one voucher code because they'd messed up. But it's because he just really started playing. He's like, wow, this is going to work. You can even stack voucher codes and clearance sections. There's lots of stuff you can do. So Ross, try them all, learn them all, keep playing. Ultimate goal is probably spend per hour. That'd be the best metric I'd look at. So doing all these sourcing methods, how much money can you spend on deals per hour worked, etc. Cool. Hope that makes sense, Ross. Let me know in the comments down below. Elliot Long, what steps do you take when sourcing a product to check no IP claim will be issued, or is there never a guarantee from experience just buying trust? Yeah, never a guarantee. You kind of understand which ones. So a couple of top tips. Obviously, your sourcing tool will probably help you out. Number 2, look at the keeper chart. The new seller count, you want to see a history of other sellers on there going up and down. If you see big drops, that's a warning sign. If you see it's always like 1 or 2, that's another warning sign. The third option, I'd say also as well, is look at the Fast Track FBA brand checker. You can just go to the Fast Track FBA website, and we build out a list of them as well, of like all the different brands that we have, which are, which are like dangerous and we know cause problems. So that'd be it really. And you like, I'm not going to lie, like your tool can be, you can look at a product and say tool is safe, lots of history, and not on the Fast Track FBA brand checker. And then tomorrow you can get an IP alert because they just decided to do it. There is no guarantee. There is never a guarantee. And then obviously when you do get it, fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. He's the guy we use to help us deal with IP alerts. So check him out, and he'll it's a retainer a month, so that really helps out. Muslim tours. When do US taxes have to be filed? In the UK, it's after 12 months from the first tax year. It depends obviously on what entity you have. So that you've got like a C Corp, S Corp, or you're trading as a sole proprietor or a partnership. They're all slightly different. We do C Corp, and it's yearly, literally calendar year. So that's it. Buy the course, it tells you down below, and also speak to your accountant. English with me. My question is certain prep center just require you sending the labels via email or WhatsApp, and you send them the item. The other one wants secondary access to your account, and send on the 1st of May. Yeah, like if you ask me, I would rather just give the prep center access to my account, and, like obviously not my login, but secondary access, and let them do it all. Like this is about like prep, doing like prep, sending labels via email. It's time consuming. It's just another task you have to do. Just let them do it. Let them take over. Like my advice, give them secondary access. That's what I'd say. Sending it via email or WhatsApp. My God, confusing. Does Amazon charge fees for remove unfillable inventory to send us or warehouse back? If yes, it's per unit. Should we collect removable inventory and ask to send that to us once a month? Yes, they do. They charge fees. There is a cost of them sending the stock back. I don't know the price. You'd have to look it up. And if yes, is it per unit or should we? I think it's per unit. So every unit you have maybe it's like 50p or something you have to pay to get it sent back to you. And I think you have to at least once a month have automatic unfillable removals. So yeah, there's a setting on FBA that does that. Carlos Aguirre, do you think it's possible to scale an OA business to over 5 billion here in the USA? Yeah, 100%. My God. I know someone who did 10 million in the last 12 months. You can double that. Absolutely. No problem. No problem. I know people who doubled that. Like 100%. Easy peasy. And they know people doing multiple 8 figures a year doing OA in the US. Multiple 8 figures. Like, it is possible. 100%. And also, what you got to realize is Amazon's getting bigger, so there's more and more opportunity. So yes, 100%. I'm at Cara. My last month's sales 3.4k euro, an estimated payout 2.1. What should be the net profit for you for you to have a successful business? 300 euros, or do you think it's okay? 10% margin. Look, at the end of the day, generally speaking, the higher the revenue, the less margin you're going to get. Probably like 3.4. Like you probably want to be going for anywhere at least between like 15. If you can get up to 20% margin, you're going to be really happy because you're not including like your cost in that. For example, if we're talking about net margin here, not gross, but net margin, so after all costs, everything. So 15, 20% ideally, probably like below 5k at least. That's where you want to be trading at. You've got cash back in that as well, voucher codes. If you're doing 10% margin, look, I think if you're doing 10k top line revenue, okay, 10% net margin, like fine. but you're still only making £1,000 net profit at the end of the day. So you just got to think about that. So like most people want £2,000 net profit or €2,000 net profit to live off per month. So that means you have to be doing £20,000 worth of sales per month to generate 10% margin. So you're doing 3.4k euros in sales. You're making €300 in, and I'm hoping net profit, not gross. That's after everything. I.e., that's how much you can pay yourself. Like I probably say you want to try and up that. I'd probably be looking to go to the 15%. You probably want to be walking away with like €450 an hour. Like that'd be like, okay, cool, I'm okay now. Look, don't get me wrong, it's easy to grow revenue, it really is, but converting that revenue to profit, that's hard. So it's okay, like well done for what you've achieved. Don't be disheartened, but do try and challenge to get higher margins. Revenue's easy, profit's hard. Try and always challenge it. Hope that makes sense. Sorry for confusing. I wanted to ask, making $2 to $3 profit for expensive items when I receive refunds cost. Yeah, but like we have like a 3% return rate. So if you're talking like, let's call it 100,000, we do 300,000, but just make it easier. 100,000 on sales. So like 100,000 on sales per month, 10% margin, and it'll be 10% margin including returns. The one thing also you need to just understand is like 50% of your returns will go back into being resold again. So like the only thing you're really losing out on isn't $12 or €12. You're actually losing out on the FBA fee. That's the one thing you have to keep paying. And obviously you have to pay if they damage the goods, but you get the seller fee back, you get everything. Like you're not losing a $12 sale. You never got it in the first place. You're now losing the FBA fee and the cost of goods if it's damaged. I hope that makes sense. But we all have that same problem. Just try and reduce. Look, anything under about a 3% return rate, you're okay. Like, don't worry too much. It depends on your goods, but like as a general rule of thumb, that's a good kind of guide. If you're over that, start like, okay, something's not good. Ishak, do you train VAs to check for IP alerts? Yes, we do that with all our VAs, and they're all trained with it, and they all know about Fast Track IP Brand Checker. My God, we've got 6 minutes. Tom needs to go faster. I've received an IP complaint from a rights owner. I contacted them, but no response. Also contacted Amazon, but rejected my bill. Would you be next step? FastTrackFBA.com/Jeff. Speak to him. We use him. He's really good. That really helps. Hope that makes sense. AJ, sorry to hear that. It does happen. Welcome to saying on Amazon. It's not perfect. Only agreeing sometimes. Just got on. What's the video interview like when starting? And is there any other surprises similar? I don't really know what you mean. Video interview, I'm guessing you're talking about hiring your VA. You want to work for us. No, it's an interview. That's it. No surprises. Good luck. Jasper Tor, what are the main must-have tools to use in combination when starting out? Keeper, tool, conscious schema, of course. Look at oh my God, there's a video I created probably about a year ago called like how to get started selling on Amazon arbitrage with a budget for like maybe less than £500, something like that. I literally talk you through step by step what tools I would buy, when, and what discount codes to use to like get the maximum trials. Check it out. It's fasttrackfba.com. You can look at fasttrackfba.com/tools, but I would really recommend looking at YouTube videos. Very, very useful. How to get started on Amazon with like £500. You'll see it as one of the videos. Probably about a year ago I did it. Only agreeing. Are you in the US since your video says start selling on Amazon? So I sell in the US, I sell in the UK, but I live in Mexico City right now. Mexico City is just there. You can see. I don't think it's going to work. No, you can't see. Yeah, that's Mexico City out there. But I live in Mexico City right now. But I'm a UK national. You can probably tell it by my accent. Amit, when Amazon got return of our products, if it is opened, packaged, or damaged, can Amazon relist these products? No, they get sent back to you. They fall into unfillable. They get sent back to you. Let's keep going. Ross, cheers, mate. That does help. I've been doing a lot of seller amp reverse sourcing for a while there, and I've not found anything wrong. Mix up. Yeah, cool. Keep going. Mix it up. You're looking like you're going down rabbit trails, and the rabbit trails will take detours. Don't keep going the one way. One way, change, because you're just finding results. And, that's cool. So it's about sourcing. Keep up the great work. Love it, mate. Amit, when will you be in Amazon Germany? Do you have any deadline for it? Probably looking Q3. I was thinking Q3 we want to do. My problem right now is purchasing managers. I think I need to go up to 12 purchasing managers for the strategic plans. It's a lot of people we need to train. It's a lot. It's a hard work. Only agreeing sometimes. If you sell too many products too fast on a new account, will this create problems? Nope. They'll do what's known as a velocity review, and they generally happen around about £7,000. I think we got one at £70,000 per month, and we got another one at like £300,000 per month. They just said, your selling account is under review. And I'm like, ooh. But they review you. That's it. But that it doesn't. At the end of the day, as long as you're not doing something dodgy, you're fine. That's it. But yeah, no problem. What is an OA business? Look up online arbitrage, buying from retail stores online, reselling on Amazon for a profit. That's definitely the definition of OA. But how do you keep track of where your items are brought? I'm testing using my own SKUs with cost supply data, or would you keep them in a master spreadsheet? Master spreadsheet, fasttrackfba.com/USS, the ultimate sourcing sheet. Trust me, it does all of this. We use it in our business. We'll do 1 million this year in the US using this. I hate to say it's an Excel spreadsheet, but it has a link to Amazon. It brings in all the fees. It brings in all the fee data. It brings in all the buy box prices, the seller rank. You can build out your own sheets on top of that as well, on top of that data. You get live phone calls, support calls with my team. They help you out. We have lots of cool add-ons for it. But at a very fundamental level, we track all our purchases through it. We set the right tax codes. We code it to the right VAs, supplier. We can track the profit and loss of every single individual product. What else? It does analytics. The big one is once you start building up a lot of kind of like, how would you say it? Once you start building up a lot of data around your purchases, you're going to start understanding which stores are working for you. So we tell you which stores are working, but also we tell you which stores have worked in the past that you haven't sourced from recently, you should go back again. And it does this automatically. Also, it tells you which ASINs you want to replenish, but not only that, it tells you which ASINs you want to rebuy because statistically they've given you a lot of revenue. You should really focus on them, like your top 100 ASIN list that you always want to keep in stock at all times. Again, it's automatic, it's dynamic, it does it automatically. It's really cool. Also, it helps with forecasting. Like, if you want to grow your business, long story short, buy more stuff, and it helps you understand like what you want to like set some targets, like how much profit do I want to generate, what's my ROI, how much revenue I need to make, and how much I need to buy, and it will help you manage that as well. Ultimate sourcing sheet, fasttrackfba.com/USS. Honestly, it's brilliant. Like, I built it and it's really, really good, and we're developing it so much. It's got a whole team that support you. Like, you have a problem, you break something on the sheet, you literally contact them and they will get on a live call with you and help you out. Like, trust me, like, so many people use it. It's brilliant. And because it has the API connection, you can also build out other stuff. Like, we have add-ons to like automatically download Repricer. It'll automatically upload to the Amazon listings. It'll create shipments for you. Really, really useful, and help you manage inventory as well. I love that. Next one, OA, online arbitrage. Thank you, Bailey. Fantastic. David James. Hey, I just sent you my first FBA shipment. They're currently available in inbound status. How long will it take them to be available? You're gonna hate me. So it could be that they come in tomorrow. Normally, I think we took about seven days. US is a lot longer, for about 2 weeks. But just because they land doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go live. They could get checked in, and then Amazon might move them to another warehouse. Means they take another 7 days. It's like, oh, they do an internal transfer. So like, David, it's not a nice situation. You're just gonna have to play it by ear. I know it's a real pain. I know you're like, oh, I want to start making sales. You'll get there. Just stop. Don't worry about that. That will take as long as it takes. There's nothing you can do about it. Focus on finding more stock. Buy that. That's going to help you out. Only worry about things you can control. You can't control that. Don't worry about it. David James, can I make sales in the inbound sales? Is what I mean. Yeah, you can. So it should be turned on, I think, by default. It's called the FBA Head Start program. So Amazon know when it's coming in. They know the shipment. They know it's going to be checked in. And if it's going to arrive tomorrow, for example, well, they might say that it's out for delivery in 3 days' time. So they'll do the Head Start program. So you can still make sales. It does happen. Head Start program. Jasper Tool, thanks, man. We'll find it cool. Jasper, going to help you. Pierre says, how's life in Mexico City? I love it. I need to go really quick. It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. I love it. Lo siento, no hablo español, solo inglés. No, I'm learning Spanish. Amit, Thomas, thank you so much for answering questions. You're already answering all the questions patiently. Cool. Glad I could help. Jasper Tool, what the video you referenced to is Sean Gilbert by any chance? I don't know. What? Gavin Sweeney, I mentioned his name, not Sean Gilbert. I don't know I don't know what the reference was. Jasper, I'm just looking back at your previous questions. Oh, the main tools to find. It's a really good video. I will just give you 2 seconds. I'll run over. See if I can find it. Is it like 500? Yeah, there we go. Is that it? I'll see if this is the right one. Yeah, can you start an Amazon arbitrage business for £500? I think that might be it. Have I put the tools down here? Yeah, I'll drop it. Say there, sorry, 2 seconds. I'll just drop it in the chat right here. This one, Jasper, that's the tool one you're looking for. That's the one you want. Go to that one. And it's called How to Start an Amazon Arbitrage Business with £500. I'm running over my own time. Time is your most precious asset, people. Use it wisely. That one. That's what I recommend. B Homes, do you suggest buying leads early on, sir? Yeah, definitely. Like, even if like it opens you up to new stores. You know, Fast Track FBA leads, fasttrackfba.com/leads. We do in the US and UK. It just gives you lots of new stores. So very, very helpful. And also, once you find one lead, you can then use that to find other leads. Really useful. Do you prefer reverse sourcing using software? Don't use software. Never use any sourcing software. We only use manual sourcing methodology with VAs. They use multiple sourcing techniques. And all the big sellers, you know, people doing way more than 5 million a year in OA, don't use software. So just tell you that now. Ishak, some products force me to use manufacturer barcode, and I've noticed manufacturer barcode products often get lost. Is there a way to change this? No. You can only use, if you're going to have to do it, you're going to have to do that, unfortunately. Sorry. Buy the products. Yeah, that one, that's cool. Thank you, really appreciate it, no problem. Massive action. Sean Gilbert started with 500 and headed for his first billion sales. Yeah, do look at that. Sean actually commenting. Do it, honestly. Watch his video. Sean's really good. Just type in Sean Gilbert into I'll see if I can share it here quickly. Sean Gilbert. I think, did we do a 2-part one? I've done 3 videos with Sean, but I did love this one. This one's brilliant. I will drop this one in the chat right now. And obviously do watch this with Sean. I did love that one. That is that one. Take a shot of that. That's the one with Sean Gilbert. Really loved it. And that was how to start selling on Amazon. What's it called? How to start selling on Amazon. I'm just waiting for it to load. Details. How to start an Amazon FBA business with £500. Just type in Sean Gilbert's name into YouTube. You'll find him. Yeah, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, time now is 11:04. I like to keep this to 1 hour. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a real pleasure. Lots of great questions today. My voice is certainly feeling it, but I just want to say a big thank you. Thank you for all of you for your questions. Thank you for joining. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I've added some value to your life. A couple of top things. If you do want to start in USA, I really, really recommend doing an LLC. Have a look at the course down there. Also, as well, I talked about the USS Ultimate Sourcing Sheet. We use it in our business. It's like game-changing. It just saves you time. Time is your most precious asset. I really recommend it. You can book in a free 30-minute call if you want to do it. fasttrackfba.com/USS. Have a look at that. I think you're going to love it. But hey, I will see you same time next week. Ladies and gentlemen, keep smashing your business, and I will chat with you next week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.